Divine Entanglement and for joining us in all of our divine offerings, whether it be our weekly Ascension Global radio shows, our monthly Sacred Temple teachings, our prayer groups, or our gathering in sacred community and sacred soul tribe gatherings. Our love and our light is with you always, and may you enjoy with great exaltation and honor in the path that you walk, in your unfolding in every day, that we create harmony and unity in our diversity and in our oneness. May we co-create for eons to come in this now concurrent moment, and we thank you so much for joining us. For more of our offerings and for more of our co-creations together, please tune into our website, http://ulwhc.com. Welcome, 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 and good morning. This is Joanna from Universal Unity and the Universal Love and Light Wisdom Offerings. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yes, we are live on this beautiful, soft and lovely vibrational day of 7/7, and the year works out to a number 11. We're going to talk about these number energy vibrations that we have moving and spiraling with us in this beautiful, soft and lovely divine feminine frequency energy that I'm sensing, that I'm feeling, the Divine Mother and Divine Terra, Gaia, with us in this moment, female frequencies that are ushering us into the celestial alignments that are coming up later on in the week. We've got celestial alignments, eclipse, and we've got some beautiful grand trines that are also offering their vibrational offerings for the human ascension, for planetary and galactic and universal ascension offerings. And all of these are all cycles within the grander, loving evolutionary programs from Source Creator that humanity is now awakening into. And so we thank you and we welcome you. Today's vibrations that we start off with. This month, July, is a beautiful number 7 vibration. And for me, 7 vibration is always about the understanding of our own spirituality. And spirituality has been historically driven from, our religious context, but spirituality is much more about who you are within creation and your own spiritual understanding of this. We've created the religions around our own spirituality understanding, and this is why we're so diverse and we're so unique in all that we are as a human family. And so the number 7 is a vibration, so we've got a double 7 today, and our year works out to a number 11. But if you add the 7 plus 11, it equals 16, and 1 plus 6 is another 7. So we're working within a triplicate of 7 energies, which is truly, we're tuning into the etheric chambers now with our celestial families and the higher selves of all of you as we gather in this sacred space and our divine sacred hearts open in this sacred communion. All that we are creating in this moment is a grander awakening of who we are as energetic, diverse, universal, omnipresent beings, spiritual in nature, chemical and alchemic in nature, spirited in nature, godly in nature, Christed in nature, all the things that are somewhat unseen, if you will, in human form. And this spiritual awareness, this understanding of who you are in your omnipresence, meaning that there is an aspect of you, there is your godliness, this God spark of you within all things. Awakening, awareness, is you're feeling into, as you're expanding into this understanding. And it's an eternal, cyclical story. Because your godliness will expand and cycle into new beginnings in all moments that you do, in all moments that you become aware of. I didn't know I was aware of a galactic cycle. I didn't know I was aware of a collective human cycle. I did not know I was aware of a grander cosmic cycle. And the more that these awarenesses come into your beingness, your state of awakening, your moment-for-moment thought or musing or childlike wonderment that we do often have in our awakening cycles, in our human ascension cycles, allow us to expand within this godliness. Allow us to expand within our understanding of the cycles that we are embedded within, that are embedded within us. And why we feel what we do with profound number vibrations, in the way we feel when we do with great celestial alignments that are occurring for us this week, and why we meet and gather in such beautiful and lovely, sacred, intuitive, and synchronistic ways that we do week after week after week. in whatever form or manner that you choose to tune in now or future now moments through the recordings, through the recorded offerings that are being put forward. So know that there's new cycles. And we often bring this up in our conversations as we gather, dear lighted ones, that if you listen to one or more of the shows or one or more of the ideas or concepts that you truly get excited to grasp and truly get excited to dive into, there will be a new cycle of meaning for you in all that you're excited to tap into. Even if you listen to that one same recording 10 times, there will be a new meaning come forth within it. You might think that you're hearing the same words. You might think that you're hearing the same concepts. You might think that you're hearing the same teachings. However, your consciousness, your godliness, and this will take you far beyond because we're asking you to drop within your divine sacred heart to understand this and feel the vibration that we are offering. It is the God consciousness that is infinite, that is eternal, that is Christed, that is crystalline, that is ever expansive, and it is one that is felt. Feeling your God consciousness first as you drop to your divine sacred heart through breath, through loving intention, dropping to your divine sacred heart and opening that portal of light through your heart, through your pineal gland, opens you to that God consciousness that is a feeling. Grounding through your pillar of light through the sands and soils of Gaia as we entangle, as we engage, as we offer ourselves within the crystalline heartbeat of Gaia to honor her wisdoms and her intelligence and her love, as we then harmonize her energies with us and us with her, as we harmonize our energies with the Divine Mother Father frequencies within our divine sacred heart, as we harmonize with the divine source creator, the omnipresence of all that is. And as all that is harmonized in this cycle within breath, one can become awakened and apparent to the God consciousness within our very center of our being that can be felt. And that God consciousness is a cycle that is never ending, a mastery cycle that is ever infinite, a mastery cycle that is ever loving, that is ever compassionate, that is ever understanding, that is ever deep and rich and beautiful and luxurious, and all that is evolutionary as a portend of love, as a portend of growth, as a portend of light that you are, can be felt in every way. And why we feel what we do, why we move through what we move through, why we initiate and ignite what we do for ourselves. And in this, dear lighted ones, this beautiful introduction of the 7 vibration, of understanding the spiritual awareness that you have within all moments of all new cycles of all breath, to truly create that sacred, loving, and soft intention that these cycles are purposeful, that these cycles are meaningful, that these cycles and these vibrations and these offerings from Source Creator, because you are a part of it, it is you, allow you to joyfully honor and open within your own grandness, your own beauty, your own Christed excellence and magnificence. And why our topics for today are in this beautiful 7 vibration, which is always meant for me intuitively, the spiritual awe, the spiritual unseen, the spiritual expansiveness and infinite potentialities. Usually the unseen, because to me that's what the spiritual essence of creation really is. It's the heart of God that's always an eternal story. It's the unknown. It's the majesty of what may unfold next. It's the miraculous of what intent you hold right now, the vibration that you anchor, the vibration that you garner right now, as your divine sacred heart opens to feel your godliness, just with that soft and loving intent. And in this breath, I open my divine sacred heart, the balanced harmony of male and female within me. I desire and I I allow my godliness to come forward so that I may, in all of my glorious beauty, experience the eternal story of God that I am, to experience the love that I am, to experience the unseen, to experience all that is. I am a part of a new cycle, and grounding and anchoring to the heartbeat of Gaia, so that these eternal cycles of breath, these eternal cycles of soft and loving intent, these eternal cycles of mastery allow you to unfold anew, greater awareness, expanded awareness of the cycle that you are, a masterful cycle of love, a masterful cycle of light. And why all of these number vibrations, and if we just take the number 7 for the day, number 7 for the month, and we manifest the 7-7 number, the spiritual upon the spiritual, the masterful number of 77, and how very uniquely and miraculous the number vibrations play off one another, moving into the year vibration, which is the 11, which is that sacred portal that each and every one of us walk through as each and every one of us initiate a new cycle. Because the 11, the portal of the 11, the understanding of those gateways, that portal essence that the 11 allows us to understand, is that walking through that new cycle, the initiation when you choose, through intention, through initiation, through ceremony, through however it is that you're ready to create a new for you, that new cycle for you. And why we've had so many ancient tribes and ancient civilizations and ancient experiences create ceremony around these cycles, around celestial alignments, around cosmic and star alignments, around the cyclical alignments that Gaia offers through seasons. In whatever it was that we created ceremony around, they were that quantum catalyst. They were that moment through which tribes gathered. Tribes through intention gathered, through group thought, through group intention, through group celebration, through group ceremony, through group sharing, just as we are now. Celebrating the spiritual unseen, the spiritual unknown, but having that sacred inner trust that you are a part of a grander cycle. You're a part of the grander cycle of Gaia. You're a part of the grander cycle of you, your soul essence of you, which is far beyond what has ever been taught or told or understood. And why we have, through the times, reached beyond what we used to define ourselves to be, in the boxes we used to put ourselves within or define ourselves within, and why it feels so good to step beyond it and create anew as you step through that portal of a new cycle. And so with these number vibrations, the celestial alignments, we enter into our beautiful introduction of our reminders today with the numbers that we have occurring for us in this beautiful day, as we're anchoring these beautiful celestial and source creative energies within our human tribe as we gather in this sacred space. And we're putting out an offering of our Lionsgate event, the 0808 event, and Tina has the links up there in the chat area as well as on our Facebook page. We have our links there. And this is a beautiful sacred event for those who so desire to truly deepen and enrich in their entanglement understanding, their entanglement awareness with Gaia, their entanglement awareness with their sacred soul tribe of others from around the world who are also excited to deepen and enrich in their wakefulness with consciousness, with Gaia consciousness, with source consciousness, with our celestial teams of light, our celestial families of light that are now tuning in. Because the area, the sacred land that we will be doing this Lionsgate event on, they're asking me to bring this forward as a reminder. We will be anchoring this Diamond Heart Sanctuary of where the sacred land is. This sanctuary will be an energetic temple anchoring. And this initiation, this consecration, if you will be those who so desire, those that are excited, to either come forward remotely or to come forward in person and anchor and be a part of the special ceremony of anchoring in this temple of light, to anchoring in the idea and the concept of humanity acknowledging and intending and moving forward within their Christed exploration, their Christed Christed expression, their Christed experiences in their evolutionary path that they take within Gaia, within one another, within the human collective, within our cosmic collective and our galactic collective, and it ripples out to the all. So there are various places upon our planet now that are offering and opening up into what we call sacred temple work. And so this sacred land here that we are on, the sacred temple work that I've been initiated within, that I have been so excited to offer and begin anchoring and begin to prepare the land for, is the future work, if you will, the future gathering, if you will, of sacred crystalline cities, of assimilation centers for on and off-world contact, for on and off-world expanded learning, for higher expanded Christed learning and heightened inventiveness, if you will. And so there will be various portals and places that you will all be attracted to around the world, that people are gathering in communal living, creating their own sacred temple spaces upon the sacred land that's been calling to them. And I have been so very blessed and so very grateful that this has been a beautiful synchronistic journey of this connection with the land and the sacred space that I have literally slipped into, which I feel so very honored and blessed to also offer it to creation as part of my heartfelt joy, part of my heartfelt passions to be the Christed healer and teacher that I am, and to anchor it within a way that becomes a sacred ceremony and a consecration, which is what this 0808 Lionsgate event will be. The anchoring of this Christed crystalline energy to the sacred land here, and with the intention of the divine cities of light that are held within higher vibrational realms, higher vibrational earth aspects, if you will, higher vibrational dimensional perspectives, that the cities of light and the pyramids of light that we all do our higher work within, consciousness states, we will be anchored within this sacred land area. And as we gather the resources and the donations to build and create the land and the spaces that will suit all of our future excitements and passions, and the children's network and the outdoor learning and all of those things that we will explore as the donations and as all of the funds come forward to assist us in the resourcing of this. This is the initiation and the intentions that we're grounding and anchoring within the 0808. So even if you can do it remotely, even if you feel within your excitement that you desire to be a part of this, these will be the intentions that will be spiraling around that 0808 in this divine sacred gathering of our universal offerings. And so we wanted to put that forward because some of that was not in our on that page of the event, but this is the underlying frequency and the foundation of why I've been inspired to create that event. So thank you for that beautiful introduction. And so today's beautiful topics for today, that we are so excited to be back. We took a week off last week to move within some family experiences and some family cycles that we were moving through. And so we've got some pictures up that are from a place that I visited in BC. Then we'll talk about our pictures in our second hour. And then again, if anybody has any beautiful, lovely Gaia offerings that you would like to bring forward, and we can tap into the elemental and the Elohim and the Gaia energies as we awaken within our Gaia speak, as we awaken within our Gaia consciousness energies, please feel free to send them into Tina, and she can put them up in the chat room there. And again, any comments and any questions that you have about the ascension journey that we're all moving through, the changes and the cycles that we're all moving through, and please feel free to get them in, because we allow your sacred sharing to be the sacred sharing of the all, and it does ripple through and affect the all when we gather in sacred ways as we do. And we open up into our divine topic as we gather within this sacred space, and we anchor within the sands and the soils of Gaia, within the divine inner temples of all that we are, understanding that our bodies are a temple of light, our bodies are a temple of wisdom, the chakra systems within themselves are temples of wisdom and information and vibration, and all that we are as beings of light in human form, understanding that we are multidimensional Christed beings of light. The path of awakening, the path of ascension, is our growing entanglement with this. The more aware you become of how multidimensional you are, the more aware you become of how spiritual you are and how eternal and infinite you are, is the ever-eternal unfolding evolutionary story of you within the grander cycle, the grander story of creation. You in and of itself are a particle of God, a golden particle of love light. So infinite, so profound, so eternal, so limitless. And this particle, uniquely you, specifically, uniquely designed to be you, authentic, to be you, held so dear, held so knowingly, held so lovingly, by Source Creator, by God, within grander cycles of all that is. You are a part of Source. Source is a part of you. Within every cell, within every DNA, within every threading, within every cycle, never separated. Always moving in cycles. Always moving in new understandings of who you are, of what you exist within, and what exists within you. And why all cycles, you can allow yourself to move within the musing and the childlike pondering of those three questions. Who am I? What exists within me? And what do I exist within? And all of those musings and ponderings will allow you to feel into, to see, to hear, to sense yourself within any aspect of any cycle. And why they're coming to show us in every way. The cycles of rebirth, the cycles of new knowledge, the cycles of integrating new knowledge, of that state of being, of allowance, of letting go, of detachment. And those cycles allow us the ever understanding of how truly eternal and vast we are. That's what cycles truly show us. The ever exploration of loving who we are, the ever exploration of knowing who we are, the ever exploration of all that we are within the cycles. And so our topics today are mastery cycles and mastery tools. To better understand all that we are as divine beings of light, grounded within a divine being of light herself, Gaia, Terra, connecting and linking with her crystalline heartbeat through breath, through God breath, through God encodations that nourish and heal and ignite new cycles, through the soft and loving intention of breath. Allow us to see, allow us to know, allow us to experience ourselves grander in cycle, grander within the cycles of cycles, grander of the cycle that each of us are within the breath of God. For as we breathe, God breathes. As we breathe, Gaia breathes. As we breathe, our collective breathes. And as we do so intentionally, with creative thought, with group thought of intending within this sacred group ourselves to create light-filled breath for one another, light-filled potential for one another, light-filled potential for our collective, light-filled potential for Gaia and her wildlife, and for all that she is, through breath and through soft intention, through breath, through thoughtful action, through mindfulness, through consciousness of compassion, being conscious of your compassionate words, being conscious of your compassionate behavior, being conscious about how you care for your body, how you honor your body in the sacred temple that it is within its cycles of growth for you. Mastery cycles are the movement of what we know to be time and space, the cycles of what we know to be time and understanding of time and knowledge. It's that movement from when we are igniting anew. We ignite the desire within us to know something new, and we gather, and we sacredly commune. And we gather with those of like vibration that we magnetize and we attract to us. And we do so synchronistically most often. Oftentimes in the most beautiful stories that unfold, it's through synchronistic meetings, through synchronistic entanglements that we just show up where we show up and we meet the most divine beings that are also vibrationally in alignment with us. And conversations happen, and things unfold, and things unveil that show us the grander cycle that each of us play. For sometimes it's those that are standing next to you that offer a word or offer a musing or ignite that energy within you that allows you to see yourself in a grander way, or allows you to perceive yourself in a manner of being that unseen that was not there a moment ago. And why the sacred gathering and the sacred sharing is so very important to where we are as a human collective, to where we are in our human cycle and unfolding, so that our stories become what the intentions through which we set. The cycles of a master are allowing us to see beyond anything that was, beyond the words or the definitions or the descriptions that we may have had, beyond the words and the terminology that we've ever used. The cycles of how we ignite new words that allow us to feel that higher resonance of Christed essence that we are. What words allow you to feel the fullness of all that you are? And why we've often said in many of our offerings, the vibrations between the words that we offer, the vibrations that are sown within, threaded within and under and through and above and around, the words that we offer, go far deeper, far wider, provide the rich coloring and texture that many of you are ready for. And many of you, with your divine sacred hearts open, understand exactly what we mean. For it is not for the ego mind to understand these vibrations, for it cannot. It is within the divine sacred heart that understands that within this vibrational offering, dear lighted ones, there are vibrations of sound, there are vibrations of color, there are vibrations of intention from the higher frequency councils and groups and beings that you are a part of, threaded of, and are. Being sent vibrationally through the fields in which you are, that you exist within, that are also being ignited from within the systems in you, within the DNA, within your knowingness, with your innate oneness. And these vibrations are beyond what can be seen, which we've allowed you to be vibrationally ignited within the 7-7 vibration. And those that are so ready can create that portal of mastery, create an initiation, a ceremony of activation, in any way that one may be excited to create, whether it be standing upon your lawn under a tree and creating a beautiful candlelit ceremony for yourself and entangling with the rocks and the trees and the flowers around you and offering that beautiful pillar of light that you are to creation. Within this new cycle of initiation, within this new cycle of ceremony, in this divine moment of now, I open my divine sacred heart to begin a new cycle with breath. And as I do so, I understand the mastery that I am awakening to and within, that is within me. For within breath there are quantum particles of vibration. For within breath there are quantum particles of inner knowing. For within breath there are the soft and loving, magical nutrients that Source provides each and every one of us, that are the exact fuel for a new cycle. And why the vibrations that we carry will touch each and every one of you in the ways that it is uniquely required for each and every one of you. And why each and every one of you will have a different experience of the Source being offered in every new cycle experience. We'll give you an example of these beautiful, masterful cycles. Imagine yourself in the middle of a beautiful circular room. And we've called this circular room because we want to allow you that vibration of remembrance of the cycle and the circle of God. And you are within the center of it as God is, as you are. In this beautiful circular room, as we also call the etheric chambers, in a circle, and it's a dome-like sphere, if you will. And the entities from all over the universe gather in, and I don't see doors, but I just see the beings that gather in from various portals of our universe, various portals of consciousness and various vibrational threads of consciousness that join us in the etheric chambers. And it's always a beautiful circle and sphere. And so allow yourself to visualize yourself within the center of this sphere. And this sphere is multidimensional. It's a beautiful orb and an egg shape of vibrational patterns and layers and threads. And now visualize various beings, if you will, and they could be anyone you so choose that first pops into your mind. It might be a lovely child, it might be a brother or sister, it might be a sacred soul tribe that you haven't even met, it might be an archangel. And have all of these beings encircle around you. They could be placed anywhere within your spiral of experience, your spiral of cycle, and your experiential story, if you will. And there's vibrational threads that are attracting and attached to each person within this spiral, and just vibrational threads. And now from the center of all that you are, envision an infinity thread that goes to each and every person, from your divine sacred heart to their divine sacred heart. And you see this beautiful infinity symbol being threaded through every being that you're cycling with. That is your current cycle story. And we call this space and time, if you will. Call it and define it however you wish. It does not matter. But in the unseen, if you will, in the vibrational context, if you will, this is how cycles are experienced. The infinity of all that you are, cycling within the infinity of all of those that you are entangling with. We call this quantum entanglement. It's a vibrational thread that allows you to be threaded with all those that you are threaded with for the cycle experience that you are here to manifest, to transcend, to love, to honor, to give compassion within. Whatever it might be that story is unfolding for you and them and the all that is also enthreaded within that cycle story, your collective. And this sphere can, and if you looked at it from the top down, this sphere will go on and out to eternity, because you in your cycle story, in what you are as a mastery being, coming forward to create in all new moments, all new cycles, through your intention you begin a new cycle. It's what you go into each cycle with that determines how that cycle expands. So your awareness right now says, wow, I've just been made aware of that I'm creating new cycles in all moments. And in this moment I can open my heart, and with breath I am nourished. Sacred encodations of love, sacred encodations of divine light, language, and breath that Source provides me, that is entangling with the Source within, all my cells, my DNA, all that I am, all of my organs, all my thoughts, all of my energy bodies, all that I am as a multidimensional Christed being of light. I can intend in this soft and loving moment to be consciously aware and softly aware of the beautiful cycles that I'm creating, and all things expand within this. Love is expansive. I desire to create love within all new cycles, within all beings that I'm spiraling with. And because love and light is the most expansive frequency, the compassion frequency, the love frequency, all of that is so expansive. Any new cycle that you begin with soft and loving intention with those vibrations, that cycle will expand. And as you spiral within this cycle, you'll be bringing and manifesting unfoldings that will allow you to use your mastery tools, your mastery gifts that you've earned, that you've opened to, that you have activated, so that you may use your new tools, your new gifts. The cycles in which you cycle through, that you manifest, that you ignite, that you choose, that you design, the higher self is opening up to new cycles at all moments that you're ready for it. Being ready for it means that you're clearing, you're releasing, you're letting go. You're okay to let go and understand that unconditional faith and trust has you opening up into a new cycle. And as you lovingly intend to move about life, as you lovingly intend to be compassionate and understanding towards yourself and others, so too do these cycles continue to open and operate. As new cycles open and operate, so do the tools, so do the gifts, so do your skills, so do your ancient wisdoms activated simultaneously. And why? Your mastery cycles are in cohesion, they're in coalescing form, they're in coalescing vibration with the mastery tools that you open up to, and your gifts and your skills. They're one and the same. And we're constantly preparing ourselves within these cycles. And why we can see preparing as the most, we can let go within this idea of preparing. Because many people for many, many years now, the concept of ascension and the concept of new earth and the concept of living fifth dimensional had in that vibration that we were going to shift from an old earth to a new earth, and it was going to be a storyline, if you will, very linear. Well, what we're becoming acclimatized to, dear lighted ones, is our mastery of multidimensionalism, meaning that we will always be threaded within the all. We will always be cycling in and out of the polarities of density, the polarities of light and dark, the polarities of choice, always. That will never just change overnight. We have come forward to masterfully navigate light and dark so that our choices, ever moving forward through the stories, are learned love and compassion. As we do so for ourselves, it ripples out to the all. We are love and compassion in all others, in all other things, in all other life. So those polarities and those dualities will continue upon this earth, upon any frequency that's opening up into your allness. The mastery is understanding all that you are as a multidimensional being of light, using your Christed tools within the cycles, using the multidimensional bodies as was intended by Divine Source Creator to be used creatively, with divine loving expression, with divine loving limitless creative gifts and tools and skills that we all carry within. All of our tools for expansion are within. All that we are as a Christed being is the tool that we need. We are the tool of love. We are the tool of light. We are the form through which God is created, as within, so without. Understanding that you are a temple of light is your ability to create within your temple of light, as within, so without. I understand I am a temple, as within, I can create without. Understanding your multidimensional bodies, physical, mental, emotional, etheric, using these as your tools, because your temple is a tool. You are a tool. Your chakras are the tools. Your pillar of light is a tool. Your breath is a tool. All that you are as a multidimensional Christed being, and we still spiral around this idea of breath being a cycle in and of itself, breath ignites anew. Your soft and loving intention from your divine sacred heart. I open into a new cycle of love. I open into a new cycle of light. I spiral with my human sacred teams. I spiral with my higher self. I expand into love and compassion of all things, of all beings, of all ways. Grounding and anchoring with Gaia, and opening into that state of being that allows and lets go. And that's a part of the cycle that many are experiencing. Within sacred cycles, we have the ideas, if we just continue that visualization of a spiral, you ignite a new beginning, a new initiation, a new ceremony. The loving desire and intention that you desire to see yourself anew, to create that new version of you, to create that new reality that you so desire. to create the new experiences with your loved ones, with your family, with your friends, with your career. Create a new vocation, whatever it might be that is a new cycle for you. And the beautiful summertime is always the good time in these cycles, within cycles, that allow us to experience. What we sow, so do we receive. What are you planting within the garden of you, the flower of life of you? And how may you unfurl? How may you unfold within these beautiful cycles of all that you are? The newness is the intention. The newness is the thought form, if you will. That cycle. Reaching for new information, that digging within, that going within, that seeking new information. Whether it be joining a class, whether it be looking into books that you're attracted to or synchronistically driven to you or align in your vibration or align in your inbox. Whatever it might be that information comes to you will be a myriad of ways. That's the soul threading, the soul mapping that we've talked about, that's so very complex and diverse. It's not for the ego mind to figure it out. It's not for the ego mind to run away with what should I be doing next and all of the mind chatter that can go into it. But to simply open the portal of love that you are, offer in the intention and the thought form to allow God to live through you, understanding and visualizing yourself as the temple and love and breath living through you and light living through you. Those synchronicities will find their way to you. Those threadings of that soul purpose will find its way to you because you are emitting the intention of your mastery. I am a master of light. I send out loving intentions of exploration. That heartfelt intention from your center beingness, from the chakras, from the pillar of light, from you as a vibrating electromagnetic being. All that you are is electromagnetic, vibrational, loving, human, physical matter, God consciousness. The egg-shaped orb of you, the all of you, sending out these rippling vibrations of unseen. So if you intend this at every moment of your, when you wake up in the morning, you say, I'm going to lovingly intend a new cycle. If you choose to think of a cycle broken down into a daily manner, if you will. And those loving intentions ripple out those magnetized vibrational forms. And then, as you move about your day in an open, loving way, complete surrender, trusting unconditionally that you know what you're doing, you're trusting the process, you're trusting the systems of design, you're trusting divine orchestration, trusting your divine higher self and your celestial teams and your healings, trusting Gaia and you to entangle in the loving way that you always have. Move about in a trusting, open, and allowing way. Those soul consciousness threads find you. They have the portals of wisdom and light. They can see you in all of your glorious radiations of love, trust. Whatever it is you emanate out from your essence of being, those soul threadings find you. And that's oftentimes in the cycle where you're integrating. You're integrating that new wisdom that you just thought of, or you had a vision of, or that you were in a meditation and a wisdom or an epiphany came to you. You get that information, you receive that wisdom, you receive that acknowledgement. It's all from within. You're being ignited through the DNA. You're being ignited through your consciousness. You're being ignited through the webs of wisdom that you are. It's just coming to your forefront right now because you're ready. You've cleared the space. You're not resisting yourself any longer. You're not resisting the fact that you are divinely intelligent, that you have divine pure will, that you can harmonize within the center of love, and all is available to you. So these cycles of mastery begin at any moment that you so desire to intend it. However, know that there's also those moments within the cycle where your state of being to just be present is mastery in and of itself. And that cycle can be sometimes days and weeks and years, depending on how one is excited to feel present and just be. And for many of us that are masters, and many of us that have many earthly lifetimes, that state of being and that presence just to be is very intriguing and luxurious and rich. Because we're moving from doing, all of the doing, if you will, that mindset of doing and that ego exhaustion. And we're allowing ourselves to simply be okay and be within our godliness and understand what that feels like. Because it is a feeling. your godliness and to be present within your godliness is a feeling. You can feel it. Your body can feel it. If you intend, when you're sitting within your next meditation, you're sitting within your next gathering of your choosing to channel, or you're choosing to meditate, and you're choosing to tune in with the universe and within your higher selves, or whatever it is that you're doing with your sacred work. And you choose to just intend softly to be present in your godliness. And that intention might be to feel the multidimensional beingness of your godliness. How do I feel godliness in my emotional body? How may I sense my godliness in my mental body? How does my godliness feel in my physical body? And you'll feel your body soften, especially down in the lower 2 and 3 chakra. Because usually we take on most of our energetic energies there in the belly area. And that's the I am presence, and that's your relationship chakras. The safety in your relationships, the safety in being here, the safety in being human. And the I am presence, understanding who you are, because so many people, it's a constant eternal story. Who am I? The more comfortable and loving and compassionate and understanding you are with oneself, that chakra begins to clear. Number 3, that yellow color, that beautiful yellow essence of I am presence. And as you do so, that energy field, that sphere of all that you are, that cycle becomes an oscillating at a higher frequency, a faster frequency, if we talk about it in terms of speed. For all vibrations are understandings of speed and light, the light quotient that it is. And why we have the cycles that we do, to allow time for the learning, to allow time for the ignition anew, to allow the time and really presence of being within that state of release, and to honor it. And so many of our private healing sessions is really, when we're moving in with the private healing sessions for clients and for Sacred Soul Tribe, much of the sessions are about the understanding and the honoring of who we are as multidimensional beings. Honoring the why and how we release. Honoring those deep healing aspects of us that allow us to open up the space for our Christedness. And truly blessing those aspects of release, and blessing those things that we've called challenges, or blessing those ones that come to us that trigger us or challenge us, because they're the ones that are the portal to our own mastery, to our own infinite, unconditional love for ourselves. What do they mirror with us? What do they reflect within us that we can go within and even love ourselves even more? To offer unconditional love. To offer all that we are in an unconditional manner, in a new cycle. And so all things are purposeful. All things are required. All things are necessary. For it's our mastery. And why we can let go and be relaxed in allowance. Relax ourselves into detachment. Relax ourselves into just being with the process and letting it unfold as it may. Surrendering into what unfolds and stepping up into a new cycle of mastery. So all aspects of the cycle in and of itself are catalysts for a new cycle within a cycle. Constantly spiraling within ourselves, our grandness of who we are, the grandness of our planetary cycles, the grandness of our galactic cycles, the grandness of our universal cycles, and so on and so on and so on. For the cycles of all that each and every one of us are as Source Creator. Each of us are particles of Source Creator. Those particles in and of itself are moving through unique story cycles. So too are the grander collective family of the human collective, moving through its human story cycle. Many human story cycles are ending and igniting anew. Those of us that have come forward to be the catalyst for new human potentials, new human potentiation that we garner and we open through our divine pineal gland, the source pineal that offers us universal wisdoms and insights, so that we can bring them forward and share with excitement, to share with childlike wonderment, so that those that are so excited, those that are so magnetized and attracted synchronistically, can also be a part of that cycle. And they offer their wisdoms and gifts and sharings and beautiful ancient skills that are coming to life. This is what we mean by the grandness of these mastery cycles, are within cycles, within greater cycles of evolutionary benevolence. And why we can relax within every phase, every moment of the cycle. And we can let go of wanting to rush into something new or not look forward to the next release that's coming. Because some of them have been deep, some of them have been painful, some of them have been quite confusing. But if we move into it with an expanded heart and we move into it with unconditional love, that cycle expands from that pure intent alone. I move into whatever cycle presents itself to me next. I move into this next cycle. I move into this now cycle with a pure and loving open heart. For the God within me is entangling with the God within all things, and I will see, I will know, I will hear all that is meant to. I unconditionally trust all that I am in this moment of now. My compassionate, loving heart opens to a new cycle of love. And it can be that simple. And your heart that is open and loving and compassionate sees all that presents itself, sees all that you are manifesting and magnetizing and attracting in compassionate and loving and open ways. And every cycle upon cycle upon cycle, as it spirals to infinity, opens within that vibration of love and compassion. And those are mastery cycles that each and every one of us are here to entangle and love and dance within and coalesce within with great joy and excitement. And why mastery cycles are so very beautiful and open us into our mastery tools and gifts. We are so very blessed to be here with you today, dear lighted ones. And we thank you for sharing these beautiful concepts of mastery cycles and why this summer is so powerful in its vibrational offerings of numbers and celestial alignments and all that we are as a human family, stepping up into new cycles of love and growth and limitless human potential. So we're so excited to share these musings and these offerings with you. Join us after the break as we go farther, deeper, wider, and richer into mastery cycles and mastery tools. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This is Joanna from our Universal Love and Light Wisdom offering. Thank you so much. And today we're talking about the most expansive topic, the most eternal topic of evolutionary cycles and mastery cycles. And what so many humans are awakening to is not only grander, obvious synchronicities, experiences, inner pullings, inner urgings to the grander perspective of who they are, what exists within them and what they exist within, these ever omnipresent fields of consciousness, omnipresent fields of love and light, vibrating and reverberating through our own creations. So the more we are aware of who we are as masters, as creators, the more that we open up to and allow our skills and our gifts to come forward, we are subtly shown the cycles that we always have existed within, that we are creating anew in every moment. And the cycles that we have with all those around us, with all Gaia, with our human family, with our celestial, cosmic, galactic, and universal families that are tuning in and with us in this now moment, that bring you visions, that bring you remembrances through dreams, through meditations, through sacred meetings like we are in gathering in right now, where a soft and loving remembrance, it will be vibrational. They're showing me it's vibrational for some of you because you're awakening to your third eye inner gifts, to inner sight of your visionary gifts and skills. So many of you will just have that feeling of being with family, or that excited feeling as if you're going to a family reunion or a family event or engagement. This is how your multidimensional universal teams send you those gifts of love, loving reverberation, loving cycles of your awakening. And so you might just feel within this sacred gathering, and feel free to put your comments in the comment field for Tina to relay to us in our sacred sharing, that in cycles of mastery, you're becoming more and more aware to the gifts that you have to read energy, the gifts that you have to understand and discern energy. So as you discern things that are moving through your everyday life, you can discern and then immediately realign to a higher vibration of love and compassion and forgiveness. And that opens you up to a grander cycle. It's when we resist ourselves. It's when we resist the cycle, or we resist and we move into those old egoic patterns of defensiveness or reactiveness. Those are egoic. I must defend myself. I must respond in this way or react in this way. Those are ego. Those are fear-based. So allowing yourself to subtly be aware of these masterful cycles that each and every person is on. Some are unaware because they're in their own unique path of their awakening and their own unique divine blueprint, all required, all necessary, all purposeful. But in your understanding of masterful cycles, you become more subtly aware that all those that you are joyfully, soulfully agreement and contracted with are within cycles of evolutionary benevolence, whether you know it or not. But in your mastery, you will become more and more aware of the discernment within the cycles. And most often than not, they're within our family, our core family. So if you go to this image that we have either on our Facebook or within Tina, and it's my hand drawing of Gaia and the beautiful infinity cycles, and you standing in the middle with your green, the green energy there that we show as the diamond sacred heart that is now being overlighted by the Christed consciousness, which is a beautiful light pink color. And all of those beings that are standing around you or within your now current cycle, whether you're listening now or in future now moments, always seeing yourself within the center of the circle, you and God, you and the Creator. And your infinity energy that you're threaded with, this quantum threading that you are connected with, all beings that you are encircled with, whether it might be a distant relative, a second cousin, whether it might be an archangel, whether it might be a Christ consciousness being that's assisting you in your mastery, whether it's an animal friend, an animal consciousness that's been with you. These threadings are spiraling in and out, through, in, and around you. Your understanding and your awakening into all the cycles that you carry with each person, with each being, each at its own unique vibration, each had its own unique story, has its storyline. Each of you are playing characters and roles. And I can connect this most intimately with my children. And as I'm standing in the middle and my children are standing in my circle of experience, each new phase of mastery that I open up into, I intend and open into a new cycle of love, compassion, forgiveness, and understanding, open, flowing vibrations, open, flowing allowance. I see that infinity thread is offering to me, and this is what we're saying with great pause and with great meaning, the experiences that I need to step up into a new mastery understanding, a new self-love vibration, a new self-forgiveness vibration, a new skill vibration. So the skills and the gifts and the tools, the mastery tools, open up simultaneously within all mastery cycles through the relationships, through your Christed experiences, through your entanglements. And why these spirals, if you will, and the infinity cycles is you moving through that cycle, that infinity itself is you moving up into, if you envision that infinity cycle, and as it moves from your divine sacred heart, that's the intention, that's the openness. As it's moving through that infinity cycle, you're gathering information, you're in gathering wisdom, you're in gathering knowledge, you're in gathering or reading books or going to classes. Then as that infinity cycle spins around, you're going to be present with that information. You're going to allow, you're going to observe, you're going to create that higher self-wisdom to perceive, to be present, to listen, to honor. And that infinity cycle is with each and every being that you are encircled with, whether it be a coworker, whether it be a second great aunt. It doesn't matter how it's defined in our physical perspective. You are held within the crucible of all mastery cycles. And for each and every one of you, divine lighted beings of Christed potential. Christed love. Your cycle is innately required and needed and loved and so very celebrated by creation. And in this moment of now, may you expand and open within creation through your breath. And as you drop to your divine sacred heart, may you feel within the vibrations of all creation. May you feel within the vibrations of self-love and self-joy. And as your heart and as your energy fields and as your multidimensional bodies align in this harmonization moment of pure and loving intent, to simply be with your mastery, to be present with you, to feel your godliness, to feel your depth, to feel your richness, to feel your wisdom and the power you hold as a co-creative essence of God. And as you harmonize with love, you spiral and ignite something brand new. And a new cycle of awareness begins. A new cycle of integration begins. A new cycle of being present with your perfection begins. A new cycle of letting go begins. A new cycle of detachment and surrender begins. A new cycle of rebirth begins. Every moment there's a quantum cycle. Your mastery is to fall in love with every moment. Fall in love with you as the God essence that you are. Acknowledging your God essence. Honoring your God essence. Honoring the temple that you were gifted, that you designed, that you orchestrated, and the wisdoms held within the chakras and the vibrational intelligence held within the chakras, and honoring the release within the cycles that you manifest in the exact timing that is meant to, with the exact beings that are meant to, with the exact Gaia integrations and Gaia environments that are meant to. And as the ancient lineage and as the ancient wisdoms and skills and gifts and tools present themselves, as you're honoring and loving and surrendering in all moments of all cycles, the all that is ripples these intentions of love and light. For remember, dear lighted ones, from the very first breath of existence, cycles of love, cycles of light. We are that mirror. Each and every one of us are a mirror of love light cycles, brought forward in human form, to muse about human potentiation in this way, to ponder about human alchemic potentiation in this way, that through profound heightened thought, through profound heightened vibrational excitement, we anchor in the vibrations of anew. And however the soul mapping, however the consciousness mapping may excite you to act upon next, surrender into next, allow or integrate next, wherever you are within a cycle, your divine sacred heart opens and gives the permission of God to live through it in all moments. That's surrendering into your mastery. And there's a point in every master's cycle through which they know and ignite themselves anew. I give permission for God to live through me in all moments, for God to speak through me in all moments, for the Christed essence of all that I am to create in all moments. And it's no longer the battle between the ego and the spirit, and you surrender utterly into your Christed self. And from that higher self perspective, you see the cycles that are unfolding between you and family members, and you see the heightened lessons within it all. And you can feel into the Akashic wisdoms that are presenting themselves through those daily unfoldings. The Akashic intelligence that's offering through your ability to surrender into and love and forgive and understand. For these masterful cycles, dear lighted ones, or the true validation that you are love and you are light, opening up into another love-light cycle, and how profound you are. Are you not? Are you not feeling the vibration of the shift from the beginning of this beautiful sacred gathering through the shift in which you resonate now, so softly, such a relaxed state of being, that you have utter trust and unconditional surrender into the majesties or the miracles that may unfold next. And your heart feels open and your heart feels pure. And you soften within the understanding that whatever it may be that may feel challenging or appear challenging or dark or dense is that door that you walk through as you offer it love, as you offer it understanding and compassion, however that is presented to you, whether it be through beings that you co-create with, whether it be through family members of disagreements or past disgruntledness. For all of these are moments within your cycle to breathe and masterfully love anew. And the tools that you have within as masters, dear lighted ones, your acknowledgement and your claiming that you are God. That in this moment of now I offer my divine sacred heart, so that I may open to the tools and the gifts and the lineage that I have earned to bring forward in this now moment, so that the vibrations of all that I am, so that the pure and loving intent of all that I am, merely be the portal through which these gifts live through. And so I am the Christed being that I am, for I walk as an open portal of God. Gaia remembers me as I step forward. Gaia celebrates me. Gaia opens up in her consciousness. I open my consciousness with her. The beings that I encircle with, I open my divine sacred heart. I allow my tools of visualization. I allow my tools of sound and tone and intention of love and gratitude to open up ever expanding cycles, ever expanding gifts that I remember, ever expansive vibrational threads to ride along, to be present within. Do you see what we're offering here, dear lighted ones? Do you feel the wave of love that we are riding? And if your eyes are closed and your body is relaxed, you allow your breath to feel the expansiveness of God particles moving within you. And you can feel the skin and the cells and the vibrations expand all that you are with breath. And your soft and loving intentional tools of being Christ that open up a new breath of cycles of light. Expanding the aura, expanding the chakras, expanding the cycles and the oscillations. And as diamond white light softens and nourishes each and every one of you, you can feel your grandness within breath and how truly loved you are to create new cycles of love, of joy, of celebration for the cycles in and of themselves. For you are held within the center of all cycles. You are the center of all cycles. And most often than not, sometimes we feel as if we're being carried away within the cycles of the chaos that might be seemingly outside in our reality. But they're just mirrors of what's going on within. When we're not allowing ourselves that sacred time to breathe and ground and open up that pillar of intelligence and beauty. And grounding with the heartbeat of Gaia so that we're allowing ourselves that balanced center point through which we can perceive from a heightened state of perspective, that heightened state of being and presence, so that the portal and the pineal of all that we are to that intelligence of the all lives through us, and we see, we can feel, we can harmonize with the lessons and the offerings that are presented in all moments. These are your mastery tools, ignited through breath, ignited through intention, ignited through your soft and loving divine heart, as the divine flows in me to the divine in the all. That unconditional trust that as you open your divine sacred heart, so too does the divine sacred heart of the all thread with you. I softly intend to move about life with such unconditional trust and unconditional divine sacred love, that in my thoughts, in my words, in my deeds, in my high vibrational perspectives, I open up new cycles of beginning. For we are ever entraining ourselves to heightened, expansive vibrations of behaving. For we will be physical human for some time. We are offering and we are anchoring that it is through our divine sacred heart, through our divine higher mind, that we anchor and align with the Christed perspective, the Christed potentials. For Gaia in and of herself is this galactic planetary body that she is, and her spirit that embodies her cycles and her stories and her evolutionary path and cycle that she is on, co-creating collectively with us, the human collective family. Our cycles are intertwined, we're entangled, we're engaged in her growing awareness and her growing awakening. And Source Creator and her with their stories, just as we have our stories with Source Creator, with Mother, Father, God. So too is she within the galaxy and the planets that support her. And we support planets. And that infinity cycle of awareness, that infinity cycle of our own growth, that infinity cycle of our own attunement. So too is she. So too is our galaxy. So too is our universe. And so on and so on and so on. And why surrendering into all moments in love and joy and compassion. Just allow simultaneous and synchronicity to flow. You don't necessarily have to plan what your cycles are going to be. They will occur divine timing. That's your ability to detach and let go of the ego control. When you surrender into your godly self, you understand that all moments unfolding are meant to unfold for the lessons, the reasons, the divine sacred love and forgiveness and compassion that it will show you, that it will awaken you to, that it will allow you to surrender into. And that's just your natural part of mastery. And we feel this, as we mentioned, multidimensional parenting, as we always bring up in our second hour. Multidimensional parenting, if we vision that beautiful hand-drawn image that I'm going to have my illustrator create for a booklet and for a multidimensional parenting guide and an ascension guide, we sit within the center of every cycle, and we're threaded quantumly. These are quantum particles of vibration that we're showing you. Quantum means the very minute vibratory threading that each and every one of us are entangled with, the spider web threads, if you will. All entangled, all one, all working simultaneously, connectively, fluidically, seamlessly. It's a flow. It's soft. It's lovely. It's God. And these flows, as parents, as teachers, as guides, as healers, as light workers, whatever we term ourselves, it doesn't matter. We can feel these threads as we awaken into our mastery. You can feel them intuitively. Your skills will come online based on whatever you're here to gift and offer forward, whatever you're here to master or excel within, excitedly work upon and within. Some have visionary, like myself, because we're here to offer forward a universal, heightened electromagnetic and quantum vibrational information so that it can be anchored within the human collective, so that those who so desire create those excitements, and off they go with new inventiveness, off they go with new creations of systems, off they go with their excitements. And this is why there are those so divinely designed to come forward with visionary skills, to come forward with conduit skills, where we can read the energies of Gaia, we can read the energies of collective consciousness, we can read the energies of universal consciousness, and put it in the words that we know how, the words that we've used as a human collective, and thread our way into heightened conversations, thread our way into higher intellect ways of behaving, higher intellect ways of speaking, higher intellect ways of potentiation. But each and every one of you will come with your own desires and excitements to expand, explore, express, and co-create within. That's the natural Christed tools. That's the natural Christed birthright that each and every one of us have. And multidimensional parenting is allowing us to see that all those that we are quantumly threaded with, to let go of what we knew to be, how we parented in our old world days, our old earth ways, if you will. And we're saying it with great honor and blessing, because everything that I've learned and everything that I've understood has been that jumping off point to what is, what can be, that potentiation, to shift and change how I parent, to shift and change how I perceive my relationship with my children, and allow them the door and the space, the energetic space, to come forward in their Christed brilliance. For we've offered to you in past engagements and gatherings that the Pleiadian emissaries of light, if you will, tuning in with the divine sacred hybrid children, that many of us as conduits, it's a word that we've used. Conduits are anchor points, if you will, that hold the space energetically, so that those that are quantumly threaded with them have that vibrational anchor point, have that vibrational catalytic point, if you will, so that that conduit is constantly aware of the collective threading of the group, constantly threading in higher potentiation, higher intellect potentiation, higher intellect vibrational encodings, higher intellect light language, and so on and so forth. And these cycles ever continue. And what I have seen in my own multidimensional parenting is truly the part of my cycle is that detachment and letting go of what I thought parenting was, what I thought it was I was taught by, what I thought that guiding and directing, and truly letting go of those words altogether, because it's holding the space energetically for the children to come forward in their Christedness, holding the space informationally for them to come forward and begin their own creative exploration. And it's truly harmonizing and having that sacred balance of offering wisdom, of offering unconditional love, of offering unconditional compassion. And truly these platforms are open and fully aligned with the Christed grids. And those are the new earth potentiations. Those are the heightened grids, and we're speaking energetically. And those of you that are grid workers, are Gaia workers, Gaia speakers, understand this. So you can feel it in your heart, any one of you, and we give this as a practical everyday unfolding so that you may feel this experience, you may feel this understanding. In your everyday unfolding, and if you are a parent, if you are a teacher or a guide, create an experience through which any being that you are coming into contact with, a vibrational co-creation, a quantum entanglement with, and you're going about your day and you pass one another in the halls, if you will, and you're stopping for a conversation. Hi, how are you? Oh, that's wonderful. If you're in that moment, your divine sacred heart is open, and you intentionally begin that new cycle of engagement with pure love and compassion, to be present, just to be present. And your heart is open, the divine in you entangle with the divine in the all. And in that conversation that person offers you, oh, it's really great, I wanted to share with you an excitement I had yesterday, and I was out in the forest and I did a drawing. What do you think? And this person shows you their drawing of the nature that they were out experiencing, and they had this beautiful quantum entanglement. And in that experience, you're quantumly threading information to and from one another. You're quantumly threading the engagement of electromagnetic energy with one another. That engagement can be either open and loving and compassionate, Christed, aligned with the Christed grids that Gaia now offers each and every one of us, that Source Creator offers each and every one of us through breath, through DNA activation, through our connection with Gaia. If we're aligned with that essence vibration, the webbing that we exist within, the webbing that exists within us, our DNA, our soul matrix, our heart, if that loving flow is open and we're aligned, that flow continues and the majesty and miracles unfold. Just naturally, synchronistically, because that's open, flowing love. That's God love, flowing, unconditional, open, offering, powerful, empowering, inspirational, creative. That vibration is felt quantumly in their field. They may not have the words to articulate it. They may not have the understanding or experience to articulate it. They just, because it's a new behavior for humanity, we're still getting used to these subtleties of behavior. We're getting used to these subtleties of being Christed. We're getting used to these subtleties of Christed energy. But this is what's happening, if you will, electromagnetically. This is what's happening within the cycle. This is what's happening within the human story. Their heart feeds and recognizes at the soul level that you are open, that you are offering Christ energy, that you are offering unconditional love, that you are offering unconditional joy, just to entangle with them quantumly, physically, human, Gaia, whatever it might be that you may define it as. In that moment, their quantum particles and their quantum energies are as open and matching the open flow vibration that you have offered. And why, when we work in this way to view ourselves as the quantum electromagnetic radiance that we are, you can see that by your pure intention shifts and changes the experience. By your pure intention to be loving and open and present in their excitement, to be present in their soulful offering, to be present and honoring of who they are in their offering, opens up the potentiation for them to entangle with their godliness. Although, remember, free will, they don't have to. But your openness, your allowance, your surrender, your mastery in knowing about these cycles, your mastery in understanding the subtleties of Christed energy, of understanding the Christed cycles of all that is, multidimensionally, creatively, quantumly, you can just sit back and surrender that even if that experience might have been challenging, and they're coming from their space of knowing who they are and going through their own godliness experience, whatever it might be, whatever vibration they're experiencing it of or perceiving it from, your heartfelt openness still will allow for the open field to resonate through their field and have it move in their own unique cycle that it was meant to, as opposed to moving within the excitement with defensiveness, or must do it in this way, or must be or act in the way that I was taught, or must move in the manner that I see acceptable, or that the systems see acceptable, or that the political structures see acceptable, or the social paradigms see acceptable. There's a difference in feeling, and you can feel it within your body. Because as soon as humans hear words as political structures or government bodies or systems of education, their bodies innately begin to contract. And so breath can allow you to ease and relax. And why breath is so very key as you intend to open into a new Christed cycle of mastery. Because within that God breath, there are light encodations that soften the organs, that soften the bodies within, the chakra systems, feeds those light encodings to the chakras, feeds those light encodings to the blood, feeds those light encodings to the organs, and that contraction is softened and released. You then open the portal of your divine temple to gift and receive, to gift and receive, to gift and receive, to gift and receive, to open and allow, to open and allow. Do you see what we're saying here, dear lighted ones? The mastery within cycles, all the things that we have taught about who you are as a divine being of Christed light, of all that you are as a divine being of Christed magnificence. Understanding who you are as a temple of light, understanding that all that you are carries energy, information, and vibration. And all new moments, how you intend it, how you go into it, into that cycle of now, is how it will expand, how it will contract. We've all had those moments. We're all cycling in and out of polarity and density as we get used to and get comfy with our mastery. And that's a blessing. That's great. And I know I'm no longer beating myself up for all the things that I may have not said in the highest of vibrational words. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm getting used to my mastery. I forgive. I let go. I move into love. And allowing the children to be so as well. Allowing them to move within their comfort level of their own mastery and being the conduit of holding space, if you will, holding that vibrational frequency, if you will, so that they come forward in their highest frequency. And the Syrian children are showing me and reminding me that we set the vibration of our home. When you get out of bed in the morning, that's a new cycle. And your feet placed on the floor, are they being placed with rushed or frustration or anxiety or, oh no, here we go again? Or is it stepping on the floor with grand excitement of joy? Yes, another day to be me in this beautiful human experience. I can't wait to connect with Gaia and all those around me. So excited to be a child again in an awakened skin and an awakened form. Oh boy, what are we going to co-create today? And as you walk within the bathroom and you get ready for your day, that's another portal. And you see yourself in beautiful divine sacred light. Oh, look at the shimmer within my eyes. My body's getting used to my mastery. It feels a certain way. Let's do a few breaths. I see myself as perfect. I see myself as just aligned with love and joy. My body carries me through so much. I appreciate it. I have such gratitude for my temple. And you see yourself in the mirror and it reflects back to you this joy and happiness. That portal that you see yourself as is just opened, has become a new cycle. And you brush your teeth with great vigor and joy and softness and gentleness. And you do your hair and you put on the clothes that resonate with the color that you're feeling, the vibration that you're feeling. You begin to whistle and step a bit lighter upon the planet. And then you walk out of your bedroom door, and that's a new portal. And you greet the ones within your home, the ones within the consciousness teams that surround you, even though they may be unseen, they're with you. And you begin to gift light and love and sacredness to the walls and to the floor and to the ceiling, as the children reminded us, that you can set a new intention, a new vibration with your home in any moment that you so desire or feel excited to, and it will reverberate a new cycle within you. This is the mastery control that you have within all moments. And have it be joyful. Have it be light. Let go of obligation. For in all moments, there's a new mastery cycle just awaiting to have those curtains just thrown open to liberation. Thrown open to creative, Christed joy. And as you step into the kitchen, it's a new portal that you've created and ignited. As your body sends you threads of need and nourishment, and you're listening, you're tuned in. Your mastery skills are showing you, oh, I feel like a beautiful orange or some citrus foods. I understand the chemicals and the nutrients my body needs in this moment. And your emotional body says, well, let's sit by the window over there, but it's nice and sunny, and I'm getting some vitamin D. I'm connecting with Father Source Creator, the central creator of our universe. And I'm feeding those energy, light, and codations through my skin. I'm sitting in a beautiful location in my home. I'm honoring the space. You're honoring the mental body that just wants to be relaxed and be at peace and take your time and relax in the nourishment of the multidimensional bodies. And you're drinking and you're eating slow and purposeful, with joy, with pleasure. And you're shifting the chemical understanding, not only within your body and what it needs, and not overeating or eating too much or eating things that don't appeal to what the body truly needs. You're allowing it to resonate with the higher vibration of awareness, your higher vibration of consciousness, being conscious within the moments that you eat. And as you drink the water nice and slow, this water is divinely encoded with God light. And it's creating its own cycle, as I was shown this morning, as I was taking my water before the show. I was shown the water particles within my water. As I was swallowing it, was going down my divine inner temple, that it was also entangling quantumly with the water bodies inside of my body, inside of the organs, inside of the blood, inside of all that is water within me. The quantum God particles never stop. The quantum communication of the God particles never stop. Mastery cycles beyond what we can imagine or know. And how beautiful and gorgeous and unconditional and loving these cycles are. You are. And how beautiful that we have in these times of expansiveness can really commune and pull in these expanded concepts and ideas into our everyday practical unfolding. Being a Christed self, being a Christed master, does not mean you have to let go of all of your daily unfoldings and live in solitude on a mountain, in prayer, full time. We are so unique in this universe, we are so unique in this experience, that we are moving about in an ascended way by doing everything that we do in our daily life. We heighten it through our hearts. We heighten and expand through love, through our hearts. We offer the opportunity for every moment to be expanded because we move into it with love. as the Divine Mother and Father, as the Divine Source Creator. In all moments that each and every one of you were brought forward. You were brought forward through a divine resonance, a harmonic, a vibration of love. If you so desire, and if you are so excited, the children of love that you are, in all of your heartfelt musings in which you offer this resonance and this harmonic of love, may you always know, and the universe lives within you and surrounds you in this moment of now, so that you may feel the grandness of this vibrational offering. Within your breath, within your heart opening, all experiences that you co-create and manifest, or find yourselves within, will be shifted. And this we offer you as the universal truth. In any one moment, breathe and open your heart in love. Offer light, offer your compassion, and offer love. And all cycles, in and around and through, to eternity, are shifted because of you. How profound you are as the co-creator. Are we making these sacred teachings and these vibrational offerings so very clear, so very resonant to who you are within your hearts? Christed masters each and every one of you. Christed co-creators each and every one of you. You are surrounded and you are such love. For the love that you are creates a new cycle of the love that you are. Continual cycles of you with you. Continual reverberations of you with you. The God within you and the God within the all. Continual color, sound, light, tone, wisdom, intelligence, cycles of you. And how divinely profound. And we stand within this bold, sacred space. And we offer our hearts in divine sacred love, understanding and knowing that we are threaded as one. As a divine human family in our divine sacred hearts in this now moment. Grounded and anchored to the crystalline heartbeat of Gaia. And from the purity of our intention as we offer our excitement, as we offer our boldness to walk forward in ascended human form, and we offer love and compassion and understanding to the all. And we feel and we see and we can feel into and sense diamond white lights oscillating through all that we are, spiraling up through the temple that we are, out to creation, so that the rainbow of light that we are touches and softens everything within our experience. Offered with the purity of love, offered with the purity of joy, offered with the purity of sacred honor for one another. For these are the tribes of creation, dear lighted ones, make no mistake, that live through each and every one of us. The colorful tribes that each and every one of us are entangled and threaded with. That the skills and wisdoms coming forward today, from the lineage and from the timelines and from the frequencies that each and every one of us exist upon, to create anew. And how profound we are in this moment to reverberate love and light. As our hearts are opened as one, feel your universal families embracing you with joy, with sacred loving intent. To be with you in all moments of your sacred co-creation, dear lighted ones. And to open your hearts to the entanglement that Gaia offers. To open your hearts and understand that you have gifts far beyond what you've ever known. and be at joy and be at rest with the process. Trust who you are as a divine co-creator of light. Trust who you are as a master. To know light, to create with light, to heal thyself, to speak with Gaia and all consciousness therein. For this is why you are here. Thank you, dear lighted ones, as we are entangling with these beautiful, beautiful co-creations and energies and wisdoms and informations that we're remembering about master cycles, the mastery tools that we have as cycles open up to us and as we open up to cycles. We have just a quick comment from our etheric chamber about these masterful cycles. Your awareness now, your love and compassion now to yourself, the gratitude of self, is the catalyst that opens and allows a vibration of love, compassion, allowance, and honor of all others. These cycles that you find within yourself, as within, so without, for you are at the center of all cycles, merely awakening to your eternal Christed consciousness. Your awareness offers you new wisdoms. Your awareness offers you where you're at within the cycles. Your awareness offers you the ability to open and let go. Not to stay stuck within defensiveness or resistance. Mastery is your ability of awareness to practice lovingly detachment, to observe from a higher self perspective, and then choose from your most excited, awakened state of love. Cycles and tools work in synchronicity and communion with one another. As you open within a new masterful cycle, know too that there will be gifts, there will be skills, there will be remembrances, there will be intuitiveness, there will be all that you are as a Christed being of light open as well. And this is why it feels so really liberating and freeing to just open your heart and let go. Because when one resists and when one constructs and constricts, you can feel the whole body tense. And this is where, again, we're rebalancing and we're healing the emotional body with the physical body. Because so many of our emotions in our eons of Akashic healing, the emotional body will tell us what part of my body is being healed here. Because you can feel the constriction, you can feel the tightening up, the tension within the organs and the muscles. And this is why it's so very important that we honor and we teach and we offer these communications to our children, to tune into the physical body, to tune into the emotions, to know that these are our gifts, these are our tools that open us up to grander, masterful cycles. And I tell my kids, what are you feeling in this moment that you're feeling what you're feeling? How does your body feel? Tune into how your body is showing you what is needed, where breath can be directed intuitively or intentionally, because breath will open that right up. It will relax it. And visualize light going within your breath to that area. And so entertain these communications of the entanglement of the emotional body with the physical body. And this will begin that rebalance that they so very need, that we all need. For we're all one. Our multidimensional mastery is within the tools that we have within ourselves to understand who we are physically, mentally, emotionally, etherically, and begin in rebalancing and harmonizing within it. And so thank you for those loving conversations about our understanding about masterful cycles and really relaxing into it and enjoying it. And really that was the underlying frequency of our offerings today and our childlike musings today. Although they may be expansive, just know that you're a master and you know what you're doing. As you sit within this beautiful surrender and allowance, your Christed wisdom, your Christed intelligence will allow you to feel into the subtleties of where you're at within your cycles, and you open in love to it. You open into exaltation with it. You open into honoring who you are within your cycles, and all is well. This is Joanna from Universal Unity signing out for this week. Our dear love, may the God in us entangle with the God in you in all ways. Namaste, dear lighted one. Thank you for joining us for this beautiful co-creation of love and light wisdom. May you go forward in a beautiful way as you enjoy these offerings, as you explore the God within, as you experience and express the God within. Open your hearts, dear lighted ones, and may we always co-create in love, divine harmony and balance and bliss with one another and all that is. Thank you for joining us.